I've actually been waiting to talk about what we're going to talk about today because I've sort of been waiting for it to play itself out. But as you may expect, people have taken what is an interesting scientific investigation and turned it into, well, they've turned it into. What am I talking about? We've all heard about it. It's 3I Atlas. It's the latest comet passing through our solar system that, much like Oumuamua from a few years ago, everyone has decided that, not everybody, a lot of people have decided that, of course, it's not a comet, it's an alien spacecraft. And as much as I would love for that to be true, I just can't buy it because you know what? We have an updated picture of what 3I Atlas looks like. This is the first one from early July, and this is the latest one just a few weeks ago, taken by Hubble and other satellites that are pointing out through the heavens and through space. And it's interesting because scientists are learning so much about what is making 3I Atlas tick, how it has different compounds than a normal comet in our solar system, which is leading them to think that it came from outside of our solar system because it has a different makeup to it as opposed to ones in our local community. But let's take a look at three videos that I have assembled for this episode about 3I Atlas.
Did you hear the massive news today from NASA about 3I Atlas? 3I Atlas is that interstellar object that's traveling through our solar system and is going to do a flyby Earth. Well, NASA
No, it's not going to do a flyby Earth.
announced something that changes everything. They said that they pointed the James Webb Telescope at 3I Atlas and they pushed a button that shoots photon protein fiber beams in the direction of an object they want to see. But they said they can only use it once because it's so powerful it burns out the telescope. So James Webb Telescope is now burnt out,
No, it's not. No, they didn't.
but it allowed them to get close up imagery of 3 Atlas. And they said when they were looking at it serendipitously, three objects came out of the center of 3 Atlas. And they didn't say these objects broke off it, they said they came out of the center, and the objects have propulsioners on them. And
And how would they know that they have propulsioners? Oh, you just told us they do. That's why.
so one of them they said is headed towards Earth. The second one is headed towards our moon, and the third one is headed randomly towards Venus. And they said they're going so fast that the Earth will get here in a week and a half.
Well, your video that I got is a week and a half old, and they're not here yet. So, eh?
I have an inside source at NASA that
No, you don't.
leaked the imageries to me, and I'm going to post that in part two, and you will not believe what these objects look like.
I looked at part two of his video, and I'm not even going to bother to share them with you because, yeah, I'm just not. Clearly, that entire thing was completely fabricated, but let us continue.
Everyone needs to get ready because the newest update about Atlas 3i changes everything.
Atlas 3I. This is the only person I've ever heard called it Atlas 3I, and he does it numerous times. Maybe he was just misspeaking. I don't know.
Scientists and NASA were already really concerned about this strange behavior, but now over the weekend, with the Gemini telescope, they took photos of Atlas 3i next to the sun. You know what they saw? They saw it shooting a jet stream into the sun.
No, they didn't. And you're going to learn in the next video exactly what the alleged jet into the sun was. But hold on to that thought.
This comment that people keep calling a comment, or there's nothing to worry about here, there's nothing to see. Obviously there is, because scientists that work for Harvard, NASA, and China.
He's talking about Harvard. He's talking about Avi Loeb, which Avi Loeb is very interesting and has some very out there theories, but they're just that. They're theories. And as much as I love the stuff he says about aliens, not everything that comes out of his mouth is concrete fact. Matter of fact, most of it is conjecture.
Are reporting that this is concerning. We have a rogue comet that is shooting some kind of jet stream of material or matter into our sun.
No, it's not.
Like, this is huge. People need to realize how big of a deal this is. They already said 40% probability is not natural.
No, nobody has said that it's not 40% natural. What they have said is it's not from our local solar system. Nobody ever said, much like Oumuamua, nobody ever said, no official, no scientist ever said it wasn't natural.
Means it's made by an intelligent life form. 40% chance, and now it's shooting a jet into our sun.
No, it's not. But we'll cover that in a minute.
We're going to get more updates. This is huge.
Yes, it is huge because it's a comet passing through our solar system. Is it man-made or alien-made? No. Could it be? I suppose it could be. But it's way too far away for us to determine whether it is. The James Webb Telescope hasn't shot a beam into it and saw tendrils, or whatever the first guy said, heading towards Earth. Let's just let the professionals, the people that really know what they're talking about, explain it for everybody out there.
It's true. There is a very weird interstellar object traveling through our solar system right now. Interstellar meaning it didn't come from our solar system. It traveled here from somewhere else. And it is the largest and fastest interstellar object ever discovered. Although, to be fair, it's only the third. Astronomers...
I love her because she just comes hard with the science facts. And people that watch this page and listen to my audio podcast know that I have a deep interest in fringy topics, and I do believe some of them. But I am not what I have coined as an absolute believer on all of that stuff. Nor am I a professional skeptic. I'm right in the middle. I need proof. I can have a belief system, but that doesn't mean that I ultimately believe that it's 100% true. That's why I love Astro Alexandra, but she comes on and she spells it out with cold, hard, provable facts.
discovered 3I Atlas on July 1st of this year as it sped through the solar system at over 220,000 kilometers per hour. We don't know exactly how big it is, but Hubble Space Telescope observations put it at less than 5.6 kilometers in diameter.
Now, it has changed a lot since she made this video. They 5.6 kilometers. It went as high as 20 kilometers. It's probably somewhere in the middle.
Diameter. It's a comet. Most comets look like this with a tail, but this comet's really cool because it does have that tail from the sun's radiation blasting it, but it also has a forward-facing tail. This one is kind of caused by the comet itself because these dust grains are too big to be pushed back by the solar radiation alone. So what's happening is the sun's energy is hitting this side of the comet, and it increases activity, and the comet pushes this dust away, causing...
There you go. The previous video where The Three-Eye Atlas shot something into the sun. There you have it.
This front-facing tail. It's also incredibly old. Scientists think this could be older than the entire solar system. And we do know the path it's going to take through the solar system. The sun's gravity is going to fling it around and it's going to head back out of the solar system and maybe to another star system someday. But it's not coming anywhere near Earth. The closest it's going to get to Earth is about 270 million kilometers away. There's also no evidence that this has anything to do with aliens. In fact, by a paper supported by the SETI Institute, which is the organization whose entire goal is to search for extraterrestrial intelligence, addresses every single claim that it could be aliens, concludes with this. This study shows that the features of Three-Eye Atlas are consistent with a natural origin. This means that Dr. Avi Loeb's idea that Three-Eye Atlas is an alien expedition is not true. We think that Three-Eye Atlas is a lithified clastic fragment from an exoplanetary sedimentary basin because of its size, comet-like features, spectral qualities, and the fact that it came from the thick disk of the Milky Way. The fact that it was found supports this idea. But still, every space agency is looking at this and observing it and trying to get more information and releasing it, except for NASA, who's on a government shutdown. But this is a super cool opportunity to learn about things outside of the solar system and about how these things can transport like water through space. And I can guarantee you that we're about to start discovering more and more interstellar objects because we're getting a lot better at detecting them, and every single time people are gonna say it's aliens. And maybe one day it will be.
So there you have it. Three-Eye Atlas. It's nothing more than a comet. Kind of like Oumuamua was. But it was the prisoner of the moment, the latest alien invasion heading our way. So there you have it. Maybe you absolutely disagree with Astro Alexandra and myself and most other rational people, and that's fine. And the reason that I decided to do this episode right now instead of waiting till this entire thing played out was I got a message on my audio podcast, Do Boldly Pod, from somebody that listened to a episode I did 4 years ago when I talked about the documentary Beyond Majestic, and he clearly didn't like what I had to say about it. He didn't like that I watched the documentary and then came on my podcast and completely tore it apart because it had no basis in provable fact. He said I should just believe what I'm watching, every single thing. Well, I think we've learned something from the media and TV and politics over the past 10, 20, forever, that you shouldn't automatically believe everything that you're told. Do some, I don't want to say do your research because that doesn't mean just pop it on YouTube or TikTok. Do some reading. Do some investigation on your own. And remember, Three-Eye Atlas, not a spacecraft. I'd love it if it was, but it's just a comet. And comets come at night. Well, they come at day too, but a comet nonetheless. If you have a thought, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your feedback on it. And remember, nothing good ever happens until after dark. Even comets.